In honor of our great veterans on Veterans Day, we pledge to you that we will root out the communists, Marxists, fascists, and the radical left thugs that live like vermin within the confines of our country.
Look, ever since Donald Trump made his way down that escalator and burst onto the political scene in 2015, we've grown used to his frequently unhinged and abusive rhetoric. But tonight I want to talk about a specific word used by Trump there. Vermin. That's not a word we often hear used in everyday conversation. In fact, it's a very specific word that carries a very specific historical connotation. It was a word frequently used by Nazis to dehumanize Jewish people during the Holocaust. For example, according to historical accounts, in 1939, Adolf Hitler told the Czech foreign minister, quote, "This vermin must be destroyed. The Jews are our sworn enemies." Now, this isn't the first time Trump has been caught echoing the rhetoric of Nazis and white supremacists. A few weeks ago, he said that undocumented immigrants were, quote, "poisoning the blood of our country," which again echoes the rhetoric of Hitler, who made similar remarks in Mein Kampf. So there you have it. An ex-president and current frontrunner for the GOP presidential nomination, not once but twice in just the last few weeks, taking a page right out of Hitler's Nazi propaganda playbook. Surely the media must be all over this, calling out his dangerous rhetoric for what it is, right? Sadly, no. Here's how the New York Times chose to cover Trump's remarks yesterday. The headline read, quote, "Trump takes Veterans Day speech in a very different direction." I say read because they later updated the headline to, quote, "In Veterans Day speech, Trump promises to root out the left." Still not quite there, but it's a stark difference from the sanitizing they did the first time around. Now, to be fair to the New York Times, the same publication is out with some new and very important reporting on the very real dangers of a possible second Trump term, especially when it comes to his immigration policy. According to a bombshell piece that dropped just yesterday, Trump is planning an extreme expansion of his first-term crackdown on immigration if he returns to power in 2025. Quote, "including preparing to round up undocumented people already in the United States on a vast scale and detain them in sprawling camps while they wait to be expelled." Yes, camps. But that's not all. According to the Times, Trump also plans to clamp down on legal immigration. For example, during a second Trump term, the visas of foreign students who participated in anti-Israel or pro-Palestinian protests would be cancelled. And US consular officials abroad would be directed to expand ideological screening of visa applicants, making it easier to block people that the Trump administration considers to have, quote, "undesirable attitudes." This is a man who doesn't just borrow the rhetoric and policies of dictators and demagogues, but openly admires and praises them. Again, here he is just last night.
President Xi is like central casting. There's nobody in Hollywood that can play the role of President Xi. The look, the strength, the voice. And Kim Jong-un I had a good relationship with. He's a tough, smart guy.
He loves them. And that new reporting from the Times, by the way, comes on the heels of a story we brought to you on this program just last week. As detailed by the Washington Post, Trump and his allies have already begun mapping out specific plans for using the Justice Department to punish his opponents should he win a second term, and also to deploy the military against protesters on Inauguration Day 2025. These reports should terrify each and every one of us. Trump isn't hiding his authoritarian ambitions for a second term, from punishing his political opponents to locking up immigrants in camps to deploying the military, all while echoing the hateful rhetoric of Adolf Hitler. We know exactly what we can expect if he retakes the White House in 2024.